Would you try a recipe that's rooted in centuries of history? I think the answer is yes. Handheld pies may be a British tradition, but they have global appeal. There's something about a hearty filling, wrapped in golden pastry, that makes a handheld pie irresistible. Today we're making a chicken and mushroom pasty. Inspired by a classic British tradition, it's perfect on any occasion and easy to take anywhere. So come on, let's get in that kitchen and make chicken and mushroom pasty. Come on. Over medium-high heat, add about 2 teaspoons of olive oil to your pot. We're going to add 250 grams, that's about 1.5 cups, of chicken. I'm using thigh meat. You can use breast meat, but I prefer using thigh meat because the breast tends to dry out. Add your chicken, 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix it well. After 3 to 4 minutes, this will be 90% cooked and the meat is firm. So we're going to take this off the heat and set it aside. Juices and all. Same pot, teaspoon of olive oil. And here I have maybe 1/4 cup of chopped onion. This is optional, but I do like the flavor it adds. Sauté these for about 4 minutes until they're translucent. Onions are translucent. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And to that, here I have about 114 grams, that's about 1 cup of mushrooms. I'm using cremini. Any mushroom, your favorite mushroom, add it here. Stir to coat, and we are going to saute these for about 5 to 7 minutes. That has been 5 minutes. They look great. To that, we are going to add 2 cloves of garlic, minced. Here I have about 1/3 teaspoon of thyme, dried thyme, and I'm using 1/3 teaspoon of white pepper. If you don't have white pepper, a little more black pepper is perfectly fine. We'll readjust for salt later on. Give that a stir for about 2 minutes. Beautiful, I can smell that garlic. Now we are going to return our chicken and the juices. I'm still on medium heat. Just going to turn it down a little bit, medium-low. It's very excited in there. Here I'm adding 2 tablespoons of all-purpose or plain flour. Give that a stir and stir it for about 2 minutes. We're just trying to cook out that raw flour flavor. And yes, it will clump up like this, perfectly fine. We will fix that in a moment. To that, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vinegar. I'm using apple cider vinegar because that's what I have. A white vinegar, white wine vinegar will also work. The acid really helps. And 130 milliliters, that's about 1/2 cup of chicken stock. Give that a stir. The temperature comes down, so let's bring our heat back up to medium again. Make sure there's nothing stuck to the bottom of your pan. We want to make sure we get all that fond. To that, I'm going to add 80 milliliters, that's about 1/3 cup, of heavy cream. Told you it would be good. Turn the heat down to medium again, or medium-low, and give that a stir. And to that, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of fresh parsley. All right, it is simmering, so I'm going to turn that down real low and simmer it for 5 minutes. Okay, the 5 minutes are up. It's thick, it's beautiful, smells wonderful. Now it's time to taste it for seasoning. Beautiful chicken flavor. Let me just see the salt. Nope, no salt needed. You never know with salt. We use some in the beginning, but that chicken stock can be very salty. The heat off, cover on. We have to let this baby cool completely before we can use it in the pastry. This is a wonderful thing to do days in advance, in fact, or hours in advance. Make it, put it in a container and keep it in the refrigerator. And then on the day you're making these, all you have to do is stuff the pastry. Real easy. Lightly flour your surface. I let this defrost overnight in the refrigerator. Goodbye, rolling pin. And a little flour on top, just so it doesn't stick to the rolling pin. We're only going to roll it out a little bit. I like to get another inch each way. The narrow spot here. 10 inches by 15. That's actually not bad. Use a long knife to cut the puff pastry. Do not use a sawing motion or you will seal the edges. Here I have one small egg. I'm going to add maybe about a teaspoon of milk or cream, and we're going to mix this up and use it as our egg wash. Here is our filling. It has been in the refrigerator for at least 6 hours and it's cold and thick. Perfect. So the temptation here is to overfill, but don't do that. Make sure you leave at least an inch around those edges there so we can seal it. Okay, so we're going to paint the entire inside of the puff pastry. Try not to get any egg fall over the side of the pastry. We want nothing to prevent our pastry from rising. Again, it's about sealing those edges. All right, that's all there is to it. Take this, gently pull it over. It's okay to stretch it and let the edges meet. Tap it down with your finger. Same here, a little stretch, tap it down. So we want a nice seal. Okay, and then we're just going to take a fork. I don't want the fork sticking in it, so I'm going to put a little bit of flour there, and I'm going to dip the fork, and we are going to crimp it. And hopefully, this will ensure a lovely seal all the way around. On the top of each one, we are going to make a little slit to vent. All right, now do that to the other three. Now with your egg wash, brush the tops of these guys right down to the edge. It'll help them get a lovely golden color. All right, pop these puppies on a parchment-lined baking tray. They are ready for the sauna. About the oven, I heated my oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 220 degrees Celsius. I'm now going to pop these in to the lower middle shelf and bake them at that temperature for 10 minutes only. Then I'm going to reduce the heat to 350 Fahrenheit, 176 Celsius, and continue baking them for about 30 minutes. I will keep an eye on them after 20-25 minutes to make sure that they're not getting too brown or burning. Look, you know your oven. It can be precious at times. So just keep an eye on them. Oh my, look at these babies. Whew. A little bit of leakage, but nothing major. These are scalding hot right now. So I'm going to let them sit here for just a minute, and then I'm going to take them out and put them on a rack. They should cool for about 15 minutes before you try eating them, because you know, anything this cute is going to burn you. Well, there it is, our chicken and mushroom pasty, or our take on it with a flaky golden pastry. What's not to love? Okay, I can't wait anymore. I have to dig in. Oh my God. Oh. Mmm. 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 It's absolutely incredible. This brilliant flaky pastry. The flavor of the filling is chicken and mushroom. That's it. You know, handheld pies have been feeding the hard-working class for centuries, particularly in England. The British tradition of handheld pies dates back to miners and labourers who needed a quick, hearty meal that they could take with them in the morning and enjoy for lunch. Each culture has its own version of this. When you think about calzone, empanadas, really, it's a global idea to put yummy in pastry. But today, we made it our own. A creamy mushroom and chicken filling wrapped in golden flaky pastry. It's everything you want from comfort food in one bite. Or two. Thanks very much for hanging out with me today in the Crack Mug Kitchen. I really appreciate it. If you like this recipe, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell for more deliciousness. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite handheld pie. Maybe we'll make it. That's it for today. So, until next time, mind yourself. Bye.